Montenegro, a small country in the Balkans, is a land of big differences. Tall mountains drop into the bright blue Adriatic Sea. Old walled cities, full of history, watch over cute towns on the coast. This is a country where the past lives on in the present, where old traditions mix with modern dreams. Travel through thick green forests, with sparkling lakes hidden among the trees. Explore the Rocky Mountains, their tops often covered in snow, with amazing views. Go down to the sunny coast where pretty beaches invite you to relax and have adventures. Montenegro's different landscapes show its exciting geological history. Shaped by ancient earth movements, this land has many natural wonders, from deep canyons to hidden caves. It's perfect for people who love being outdoors, with chances for hiking, biking, kayaking, and exploring the untouched beauty of its national parks. Montenegro's coast, called the Jewel of the Adriatic, is a beautiful mix of nature and history. Here, the bright blue Adriatic Sea washes against old stone walls, showing the area's rich seafaring past. The Bay of Kotor, shaped like a fjord, is amazing. Full of cute towns and villages, each with its own personality, the bay is a mix of red-tiled roofs, old churches, and Venetian-style palaces. Walk through the narrow, cobbled streets of Kotor's Old Town, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and go back in time. Explore the walls around the town with great views of the bay and the mountains. Sail along the coast, past hidden coves and quiet beaches, and find true peace. Enjoy fresh seafood, caught every day and served in seaside restaurants, while enjoying the friendly welcome of the locals. The Montenegrin coast is a place to relax, refresh, and make memories that will last forever. Montenegro's history is as rich and varied as its land. This small country has seen empires come and go, leaving behind cultural treasures and a spirit of strength. From the ancient Illyrians to the Romans, Byzantines, Venetians, and Ottomans, each group has left its mark, shaping its identity and adding to its heritage. Explore the ruins of old Roman settlements like Doclea and Duclea, and be amazed by the skills of people long ago. Visit the Ostrog Monastery, a 17th century Serbian Orthodox monastery built into a cliff, showing the lasting power of faith. Discover the medieval fortresses and walled cities all over, each with its own story of bravery and resistance. Montenegro's history is a story of survival, of people who fiercely protect their freedom and culture. It's a story written in the stone of its old buildings, whispered in the trees of its forests, and seen in the proud spirit of its people. Montenegro's story is tied to its location. Surrounded by tall mountains and next to the Adriatic Sea, this small country has always been important, a meeting point between East and West. The name Montenegro, meaning Black Mountain, makes you think of strength, of a land that protects its freedom. And throughout its long history, Montenegro has fought to stay independent, pushing back invaders and protecting its unique culture. Unlike many of its Balkan neighbors, Montenegro never completely gave in to the Ottoman Empire. While the Ottomans controlled parts of the country, the Montenegrin people, fiercely independent and strong in their Orthodox Christian faith, hid in the rugged mountains, creating a safe place that would last for centuries. The mountains became their refuge, their fortress, shaping their character and creating an unbreakable spirit. This spirit of resistance was shown by the prince-bishops, religious and military leaders who guided Montenegro through centuries of struggle. From their mountain stronghold in Cetinje, they rallied their people, fighting off Ottoman attacks and keeping their freedom. The memory of these warrior priests is a big part of their national identity, a testament to the courage and determination that makes Montenegrins who they are. Echoes of empires from Rome to the Ottomans. Long before the Ottomans, Montenegro's important location had already shaped its destiny. The Romans, seeing the area's value, settled there in the 1st century AD, leaving behind pieces of their empire. The ruins of Doclea, an old Roman town, show this time its mosaics and buildings whispering stories of the past. As the Roman Empire fell, Montenegro became part of the Byzantine Empire, taking on its Orthodox Christian faith and rich art. Byzantine influence can still be seen in the country's monasteries and churches, their walls decorated with frescoes and icons that show the spiritual beliefs of the time. The famous Ostrog Monastery, high on a cliff, is a great example of this architecture, a place where Orthodox Christians from all over come to worship. The arrival of the Ottoman Empire in the 14th century changed Montenegrin history. While much of the Balkans fell under Ottoman rule, Montenegro, with its mountains and strong resistance, remained a problem for the empire. The Ottomans tried many times to conquer the Montenegrins, but the rough land and the people's determination stopped them. The Black Mountain Rises, a legacy of resistance. The 17th and 18th centuries saw Montenegro become a symbol of resistance against Ottoman rule. Led by strong prince-bishops, the Montenegrins fought bravely, pushing back Ottoman attacks and inspiring other Balkan people who wanted freedom. The Battle of Cetinje in 1714, where a small Montenegrin force beat a much larger Ottoman army, became a key moment, making them known as a place of freedom. Important to Montenegro's resistance was the idea of koštvo I junaštvo, chivalry and heroism. These ideas, a big part of the Montenegrin spirit, stressed honor, bravery, and putting others first during hard times. Montenegrin warriors were known for their fierceness in battle, their courage inspiring even their enemies. The Montenegrin fight for independence wasn't only on the battlefield. The prince-bishops, understanding the importance of diplomacy, made alliances with European powers, especially Russia, which shared their Orthodox Christian faith and saw the Ottoman Empire as an enemy. These alliances gave important support, both military and diplomatic, helping Montenegro keep its independence against the odds. The birth of a nation, stepping onto the world stage. The 19th century brought a new time for Montenegro. The Congress of Berlin in 1878, after the Russo-Turkish War, officially recognized Montenegro's independence, ending centuries of fighting against Ottoman rule. This was a huge moment, letting them finally escape empire and join the world. With its new independence, Montenegro started to modernize and grow. Prince Nikola I Petrović, who ruled from 1860 to 1918, led a time of great progress. He created a constitution, built a modern army, and made changes to improve education, infrastructure, and the economy. Under his rule, Cetinje, the capital, changed a lot, with new government buildings, schools, and hospitals showing the hopes of a modern nation. Montenegro's independence, though, didn't last long. World War I in 1914 brought chaos to the Balkans. Montenegro, allied with Serbia and the Allied powers, was pulled into a conflict that would change the region and the world. Even though it was small, Montenegro played a big role in the war, its army fighting bravely against Austro-Hungarian forces. The 20th century was a time of big changes for Montenegro, with both good and bad times. After World War I, Montenegro became part of the Kingdom of Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes, later called Yugoslavia, even though many Montenegrins didn't want this. This decision caused resentment and led to future conflict. During World War II, Montenegro was occupied by Axis powers, its people suffering under fascism. After the war, Montenegro became part of the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, led by Josip Broz Tito. Under Tito, Yugoslavia had some peace and prosperity, but ethnic tensions remained, threatening to cause problems. The breakup of Yugoslavia in the early 1990s brought violence to the region. While Montenegro mostly avoided the worst fighting in Bosnia and Herzegovina and Kosovo, it was still affected. The fall of Yugoslavia brought economic hardship, political instability, and more ethnic tensions. Montenegro's culture is a mix of many different things. Located between East and West, this small country has been shaped by centuries of cultural exchange, its identity a blend of Balkan, Mediterranean, and Slavic influences. The past empires can be seen in its architecture, music, and traditions, creating a unique cultural mix. The legacy of the Byzantine Empire with its rich art and Orthodox Christian faith is a big part of Montenegrin culture. The country's monasteries and churches, decorated with frescoes and icons, show this heritage, their old walls telling stories of faith and art. The chants of Orthodox liturgy, echoing through time, are still important to many Montenegrins, connecting them to their past and their faith. The influence of the Venetian Republic, which once controlled parts of the Montenegrin coast, is seen in the pretty coastal towns and their architecture. The narrow streets of Kotor's Old Town, with Venetian-style palaces and terracotta-roofed houses, take visitors back to a time when sea trade was important and the Adriatic was a mix of cultures. The Venetian influence can also be heard in the local dialect, which still has some Italian words. Montenegro's culture is more than just the stories of empires. It's found in the everyday lives of its people, in their customs and traditions, their music and dance, their food and hospitality. The warmth and generosity of the Montenegrin people are famous, their hospitality coming from a tradition of welcoming strangers and sharing what they have. Music and dance are very important in Montenegrin culture, showing joy, sorrow, love, and national pride. From the sad sounds of the gusla, a one-stringed instrument that has been part of Montenegrin history for centuries, to the lively rhythms of traditional dances, music and dance show the soul of this nation. They are not just entertainment but powerful ways of telling stories, keeping history alive and creating a shared identity. The gusla, often played by firelight with family and friends, has long been used to tell epic stories of heroes, love, and loss. The guslar, a storyteller and musician, mixes history and legend, taking listeners to a world of old battles, tragic love stories, and mythical creatures. The guslar's sad sounds echoing through the mountains create a feeling of longing, of connection to the past, and of the power of oral tradition. Traditional Montenegrin dances, often performed at weddings, festivals, and parties, are full of color, energy, and fancy footwork. The oro, a circle dance that shows unity and togetherness, is a very special dance, its origins lost in time. The dancers, holding hands tightly, move in intricate patterns, their steps a mix of precision and freedom. The exciting energy of the oro, often with accordions, drums, and clarinets, is hard to resist, bringing everyone into the celebration. Montenegro's music isn't just traditional. The country has a modern music scene with artists trying different styles from rock and pop to jazz and electronic music. This mix of old and new shows the energy of Montenegrin culture, its ability to change while staying true to its past. A feast for the senses, exploring Montenegrin cuisine. Montenegrin food is a great mix of Mediterranean and Balkan flavors, showing the country's rich history and its place where different food traditions meet. From hearty meat dishes to fresh seafood from the Adriatic, Montenegrin food is as varied as its landscapes, offering a delicious experience and a taste of the country's soul. The mountains and valleys of Montenegro provide lots of fresh local ingredients. Lamb raised in the high pastures is a staple, often cooked in traditional ways. Jagnjetina ispod saka, lamb cooked slowly under a covered lid with hot coals, is a special dish, the tender meat full of smoky flavor. On the coast, fresh seafood is king. Grilled octopus with olive oil and lemon juice is a simple but tasty dish that shows Mediterranean cooking. Buzara, a stew with fresh mussels, clams, or prawns, cooked in a tomato sauce with white wine and herbs, is another coastal favorite, its smell alone making you hungry. No meal in Montenegro is complete without kajmak, a creamy dairy product like clotted cream, often served with bread, pastries, or savory dishes. And for dessert, baklava, a rich, sweet pastry with layers of phyllo dough, nuts, and honey, is a must-try, its sweetness balanced by the nuts and flaky pastry. The heart of Montenegro, a tapestry of faces and voices. To really understand Montenegro, you have to look past its beautiful landscapes and get to know its people. Guardians of tradition. Stories from the mountain villages. Go into the mountain villages of Montenegro, and you'll go back in time, to a world where old traditions are part of everyday life. Come down from the mountains to the sunny coast, and you'll find a different way of life shaped by the Adriatic Sea. Here, in the coastal towns and villages, people have made their living from the sea for generations, their lives connected to its gifts and its moods. Montenegro, like many countries today, is at a crossroads, dealing with modern life while trying to keep its rich cultural heritage. A new generation, influenced by global trends and technology, is growing up, wanting the opportunities of the modern world while also protecting their unique identity. Throughout its long history, Montenegro has faced many challenges, from invaders to political problems. But through it all, the Montenegrin people have become stronger, their spirit unbroken, their identity shaped by hardship. A nation embracing transformation, balancing progress and tradition. Montenegro, a land full of history and tradition, is at a fascinating crossroads in the 21st century. The lure of the untouched, sustainable tourism in Montenegro's wild beauty. Montenegro is attractive not only for its history and culture but also for its amazing natural beauty. A future forged in unity. Montenegro on the world stage. Montenegro, having survived the 20th century, is now a symbol of peace and stability in the Balkans. Montenegro awaits. Will you explore its secrets? Montenegro, a land of big differences and captivating beauty, invites you to discover its secrets. From the mountain peaks to the sunny shores of the Adriatic, this small Balkan country offers many experiences that you'll remember long after you leave. Imagine standing on the walls of an old fortress, the wind whispering stories of the past, the smell of pine and sea air all around you. Picture yourself walking through the streets of a medieval town, each cobblestone echoing with history, each old building whispering secrets of a time gone by. Imagine drinking coffee in a local cafe, surrounded by Montenegrin hospitality, the air filled with conversations and laughter of friends sharing stories passed down through generations. Will you explore the mountains, their trails leading you through old forests and past sparkling lakes? Will you explore the Adriatic Sea, its blue waters inviting you to discover hidden coves, beautiful beaches and charming coastal towns full of history and romance? Will you connect with the heart and soul of Montenegro, share in its traditions, enjoy its food, and make memories that will last forever? Montenegro awaits, its secrets ready to be discovered.